Joe Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. This was just dropped off on my porch, which is why you're looking at the shipping container. No, Amazon did not box it up at all, but that's what this box is for, so it can just be shipped, and that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that at all. Yeah, this is not as sturdy as like an Amazon shipping box, but, well, that didn't work, did it? There we go. But, yeah, I mean, you guys know I'm opening everything, so I don't care. The G.I. Joe Steel Corps Troopers, aka Steel Brigade Troopers. I do not have... Okay, I've got a weird relationship with this character, because I remember filling out a file card, but I do not remember ever having a Steel Brigade Trooper. It's really weird. And I've got some of the modern era ones, but I'm not going to bother bringing those out, because really I'm just judging these based on how cool they are within the realm of classified. So there are two in here. There's a male and there is a female. They do look like they're a little bit 5.9 inches and 6.1 inches, so they may be a little on the shorter side compared to some other classified figures, but I don't know that that really bothers me. We'll find out, I guess. So there it is. That's everything. That's the box. Let's move on. There's been so much stuff coming. I'm sick of reviewing G.I. Joe figures. I'm just kidding. That is never going to happen, but I have reviewed a lot of Joe lately, because basically everything that was slated to arrive between August and like November, maybe even December, like I don't think we've gotten into any December releases yet, but this is November stuff. Some November stuff has been shipping now. All right, so these are plastic tabbed, which is unfortunate. Everything that's been coming in lately, except for the Walmart exclusives, has been. I really like the colors on these. They're nice looking good guy colors. I do find it a little odd. Hang on, let me get these out of here and then I'll tell you what I find a little odd. I find it a little odd that they went back to these plastic tabs. Or not went back, they never... Okay, so they never used these plastic tabs because one of the things I loved about Classified series initially was the trays were made so well. Now, granted, they did warp our weapons and even our figures sometimes, but in general, the trays were made so well that they just held the figure in place without the use of plastic tabs. So those are actually new to Classified. Interesting. Okay, so, well, first, let's just take a look at... Hang on. Let me try a little something here. How about that? How about a little zoom? I don't know if I'll start doing that or not, because now I feel like it's in... I know it's as close as you guys probably want to be. Now I feel like it's in my face. So comparison-wise, I do think it's kind of interesting that the female has the forearm guards and the shin guards, and the male does not. I would like... Neither one... Like, this doesn't bother me, but I feel like they should both be that way. Ultimately, I would prefer a combination of laced boots and forearm guards, I guess. But, I mean, they both look cool. The colors match, which is very important to me for this sort of trooper type thing. And tell me in the comments, do you even have troop builders in the G.I. Joe team? I know a lot of people look at the Joe team as just specialists, and they don't have support troops, which is how I look at green shirts and steel brigades and everything else as support troops. So I kind of see what people are talking about. He sort of has like a gorilla arm thing going on, because it looks like they have used... So these are the Snake Eyes. Yeah, these are the 00 Snake Eyes legs, it looks like. And I know I normally don't do this, but I'm just curious as to... I mean, he doesn't look crazy weird, but his arms just seem slightly too long to me. Sorry, I got to get used to this zoomed in look now, which is probably pretty good, and I probably should have been doing all along. So he is... I guess the boots work out to the same height, because he's about the same height as our 00 Snake Eyes. Again, the height thing doesn't really bother me too much, but proportionally, his arms seem just a little longer. So let's look at these one at a time. The shoulder armor, I think that's going to be something that you either are okay with or you got to take it off. And I don't know where I am at that with that right now. It's bulky, and it kind of adds to his gorilla look a little bit. But I think once you turn the arms... Once you orient the arms forward, it looks a little less weird. It's got the Joe Pro, which is cool. I like his chest gear quite a bit. I think it looks really good. The way it's situated is nice. The belt on there, just solid. Oh, and you've got a little bit of paint on the back of the belt, which is nice. Zooming in is pretty good, isn't it? I've got paint on the shells, up on the shoulder. I think I'm going to have to leave... I wish the shoulder armor was a little more snug to the shoulders. But it is. It's sitting... Look, I'm pressing in on it here. Sorry, I got to get used to my new field here. It is snug to the shoulders. Let's do this. Let me slide this off and just see. Oh, okay, so it's the pockets are probably... Well, see, that's not bad either, though. I don't know. I don't know where I am with that shoulder armor. Like, it's... The concept of it is cool. But I think he might kind of look better without it. I don't know. I'm going to leave it on for the review and make that decision at a later date. It does seem to stay put relatively well once you get it oriented properly and everything. So you've got the khaki trousers. Got a holster on one side and just a little pouch type of deal on the other side. Looks cool. I like it. Would paint on those be cool? Sure. Is it necessary? Not really, because I feel like there's enough color in other places here, whether it's the shoulder insignia, the steel core logo, if you will, or the straps or whatever else. I feel like we've got enough color variation to where these don't look too plain without any deco hits. The knee pads look cool. Looks good. Oh, that's weird. Oh, okay. So that just looked really strange for a second, because it was like that, and it's not. Look at that. You can barely tell it's bent at all, and you feel like I thought if I pushed this forward it would look all strange, but I mean that's kind of just what a leg looks like. Oh, these action figures and their wacky things. The more I look at this, the more okay it looks to me. The width. All right. Let's stand him over there. Oh, and the feel, everything feels good. The plastic feels solid. I don't have any issues with him being weird. It doesn't have a massive gap in the waist or anything, which is nice and appreciated. Everything's moving nicely, so it feels good. Feels good. All right, you go stand over there. And now we've got our female trooper whose shoulders are not quite as obtrusive as the males. You get them into place and everything looks pretty good. The helmet, I love the helmet with the display. Same thing on the male. I didn't really look at it too closely, but they just look cool. And the female helmet is a little smaller. So these are two different helmets. They didn't just jam an oversized helmet on the female or an undersized helmet on the male. They're actually two completely different sculpts. And notice the paint, the silver detailing on the sort of gunmetal base looks really good. Gosh, these are a couple. I love it when I get something in hand and it's even cooler than I was expecting, because I was pretty excited for these. I like support troops for Joe. Like, that's green shirts or whatever. To me, that's, they're not the primaries on a mission, but they're critical support. And I mean, we saw that in the cartoon and the comics. Like, it's a thing. It's not like something Hasbro made up just to sell G.I. Joe troop builders. Maybe I do like the forearm and the shin armor, because overall I think I prefer the female to the male. So single jointed elbows, but you guys might know by now that doesn't really bother me. Double jointed knees here, that's expected. And the bottom joint is stuck, which is also to be expected. Okay, that one moves pretty well. Okay, everything's moving pretty nicely. The hips do what they're supposed to do. This one doesn't seem to want to straighten out. Huh. Okay, so I'm having to kind of... Force isn't the right word, but these won't quite orient. Well, I guess that, yeah, okay. That's a pretty good stance. All right, so there you go. There is the female whose armor is different. If you look, the male has the shells on his shoulder. She's got ammo pouches. They do both have the insignia on the left shoulder. This is a cool pair. I definitely want another set. I like them. I'm happy. I'm very happy with them. I'm happier with them than I expected to be, and I thought I was going to be pretty happy with them. All right, let's set them to the side and take a look at the accessory loadout, which is also very, very exciting, because we are getting, for the first time in G.I. Joe Classified, an actual for real jump jetpack. Well, not just one, we're getting two of them. Oh, well, that one's just open, so let's hope everything is in there. Lots of blast effects. Oh man, those jetpacks look great. I'm very excited about those. As I dump this out, I'm just looking at, I feel like that leg, this looks like it doesn't go down quite deep enough, because that leg can't, her leg can't be perpendicular enough without the drop down hips being enacted, and then you get a gap up here, which is not horrible, but it's a little weird. I feel like the hip should be able to go all the way up and the leg should be able to go all the way. You see what I'm saying? The angle's not quite right. And again, it just means you're in sort of an action-oriented stance. It's not a problem, but I think it's not as optimally designed as it probably should be. How about that? Okay. Pile of accessories. Tons more blast effects to go in my blast effects box. Oh man, these are solid and heavy, although they are also, well, no, I was gonna say they're a little rubbery. They are, but not in a bad way, because they're solid. All right, let's set them aside. We'll take a closer look at those in a minute. I want to get everything sort of separated out here. So here are all the blast effects. You've got they're all bent up, of course. The jet exhaust for the Jetpacks. I'll go ahead and just plug that in just to see what it looks like. Man, that's awesome. I'm going to have to heat it up and straighten it out. Well, you know what? That's not even all that bad, because I feel like there would be a little arc. Look, right? There'd be a little arc from taking off. So if you position those correctly, the curve is really just sort of a dynamic thing. I'm not saying that was necessarily the intent, but honestly, that's fine. So that looks great. And the fact that they are both curved like that actually does kind of make me wonder if that is a design. Although this one is curved more drastically than the others. Maybe I'm still trying to have the best Joe experience as I can after the disappointment of Firefly and Lowlight a couple weeks ago. So yeah, that's good. That's fine. That's great. Wow, those three words mean completely different things, don't they? Okay. And then we've got just sort of your standard issue blast effects. What I'm noting here, though, is while these four have the deco that we typically have seen with the Valkyries and the I think the Vipers pack had these. So that is pretty standard. Although it's interesting to note, I've still got the Valkyries here. You've got more of the white deco on the Steel Brigade or Steel Corps than you did on the Valkyrie. They're all a little bit whiter. So those pieces are pretty much what we're used to. Get those out of the way. But then these pieces, all right, that one is decorated the same. Looks cool. This one is decorated the same. This one in the Steel Corps is missing white deco, which I kind of don't care, because I'm okay. I don't need all blast effects to look the same. It's okay to have some different looks. But then these are probably the most noticeable, because you can see the Valkyrie set, and I think the Viper set was the same way. They've got this paint on them, whereas with the Steel Corps, they're just red, but maybe these are just lasers. Ooh, what do you think of that? That's fine. Okay, I've got the alternate flight helmet, which I really like. That is the male, and that is the female. Again, they are actually sized differently. Notice the silver paint on the front, the gold paint on the visor. They look great. And I do mean to use the word great there. And that head's going to pop right off like that. Other head's going to go right on, and you've got a completely different look. His green, it's interesting. His greens don't match. So, but they didn't match. Okay, they didn't match on this one either. That's intentional. They match. They really don't. I thought they kind of match the knee pads. So the helmets are a darker green than the rest, which that's fine. All right. So there's that look. And I'm not going to bother switching out the female helmet, but there you go. There is... Okay, I got to figure out which magazines go with which blasters. And then we've got a suppressor, a couple of small pistols, a couple of knives that look great. Well, I'll get close up on all of this stuff. So we've got 3 different primary weapons, 2 pistols that are the same. So this must go on one of these, or else I think there would be 2 of those. All right. And it looks like it's the same magazine for all of these, which I like. I am absolutely good with that. It just makes, oh, look at how that one goes in. I love that. It just makes everything easier. Okay, so you've got a more compact submachine blaster type scenario. The paint on it looks great, and it's relatively rigid. This is not rubbery or gummy or whatever. It does have a port in the barrel for blast effects. This is cool. I dig it. You've got a... So I guess this can go on any of these. I kind of like it on this one. That looks right to me. If it doesn't look right to you, tell me in the comments. I'm sure you will. Got the scope on top. This is cool. This is cool. It's just a cool looking piece. I really like how the magazine loads kind of all the way into this one. This may be based on a real world. I think you got the grenade launcher underneath, which, by the way, also has the port. So this may be based on a real world weapon. I don't know. It looks sort of aliensy to me. Oh, look at the double trigger guard. That's so cool. The one for the rifle portion and the one for the grenade launcher portion. This is cool, man. I really like this thing. All 3 of these are really... okay, so let's take a look at... the pistols do not have ports in the barrel. I think we've seen these before. They're fine. They're cool looking, semi-futuristic looking pistols. And then finally we've got our knives with painted blades. Really nice, kind of dulled down metallic silver, though. I like this color quite a bit. But all 3 of these are very cool. This kind of thing makes me want to see the battle packs of just weapons. I put them on Pulse. I realize it's something that you're probably not going to get into. Oh, okay, so the helmet matches the jetpack, which is nice. The jetpack has kind of a long peg, but man, it's massive on the female body. That's wild. All right, let's get her all kitted out and see what the final look is. Knife goes in there. It's a little loose. I don't think it's going to just fall out. I think friction's going to keep it in place, but it doesn't go in quite as snugly as some of the other Joe accessories we've had. I'm going to get that pistol in the holster. And just for fun, we're going to give... Actually, no, I'm not going to give anybody the long rifle, because for right now, they're both getting their jetpacks. So we're going to give her the grenade launcher. There, everything. Well, I'll zoom back out. Man, these are cool. All right, so hopefully the longer peg on the jetpack, yeah, it definitely fits on the male better than it does on the female. So we'll give him his knife. And it stays about as well as the female, but again, friction's going to hold it in there. It's fine. Pistol goes into the holster. And we'll give him submachine gun, and there we go. Man, this is... All right, here we go. Let me back out. This is a cool set. I am very, very happy with the accessories, with the design. Just the look of these is exactly what I wanted them to be. I want 2 more because I want to have a couple with the jetpacks on, and I want to have a couple that are land-based. So I'm not canceling any pre-orders for these. These came from Amazon. I still have two more sets on order from Pulse, and whenever they get here, I'm into it because these are just cool classified figures. This is the stuff I want. This is the good stuff to me. Good reuse of parts to create, cool looking original new characters. Well, not original, but, just cool looking characters that are a little different from anything else we've seen in the line. Thanks for watching, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about needless things. And until next time, yo, Joe.
Smash that like button if you like needless things.